guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am going to be taking a look at some Glossier products that I did a haul of just about a month ago. So like I said, it was just about a month ago, maybe a little bit more, that I got a Glossier haul and I filmed a video with like the haul and like some first impressions of me applying it. And I've been wanting to film a like more of a review video of some kind of like more thoughts and not conclusive, but getting to conclusive thoughts on these Glossier products, and I have a lot of thoughts. So let's jump in. The first product I want to talk about is the Solution Toner Exfoliating Skin Perfector. And so I have very mixed feelings about this. I actually had this in my monthly favorites for the month of February because I really liked what it was doing to my skin. And I've used this for over a month at this point, so I gave it like a full go. But I had to stop using it the other day. So I've been getting like huge breakouts. I have one here, and this is like after a few days of not using this. I stopped using this, and I have like huge pimples. I have one back here, I've got one here, you can see. I had like a ton on my chin that were just like giant pimples. So while I feel like this was doing good things for my skin, because it was helping so much with like the texture of my skin and like past acne scarring, it had helped like a ton. I do still have a lot of like scarring on my face right around like this area on both sides, and I feel like it helped a lot with that. And then it also helped just with like pores not being so big and like large looking. But I just couldn't get over, it was just, I don't know what was happening, but it was just like giving me so many pimples right around this area, and I kind of was thinking it was this. So there was a few times over the month where I kind of like stopped using it for a few days and they would start clearing up. Then I would use it again, and again it would just like, I'd get these huge pimples, and they were like hard, and like the skin on top of it was so thick. And I've never had breakouts like that in my life, and I've had a lot of breakouts in my life. I will continue to have breakouts, I'm sure, because I have not found a magical solution to breakouts. I'm sorry. If I knew, I would tell everyone. But this was not the solution for me. Like this, I'd heard such good things, and I wanted to hope that it would work. I don't know if you've like struggled with acne before, and every time something new comes out, you're like, maybe this will be the thing that'll cure my skin, but like in the back of your mind, you're like, nope, won't work, not gonna happen. And that's kind of how I felt about this, and it just didn't work. And I'd actually heard Ingrid, I saw on like one of her Instagram stories saying that this was breaking her out, and that was when I kind of was like, I wonder if that's what's breaking me out so much. I wonder if that's why I've been like getting these giant pimples like right in my chin area. Which I know getting pimples on your chin area is like a hormonal thing, but it wasn't that, because I get those too, and this is different. And so when I saw that it was breaking her out, I was like, I wonder if that's what's been giving me all of my pimples lately. And so, unfortunately, while I'm sure this works wonders for some people, and I did really enjoy what it was doing for my skin, I just can't keep using it and getting these like giant pimples on my face, because I had like a meltdown the other night and was just like, I can't do it anymore, I'm done. I don't want to keep testing this because I just don't want to have these giant pimples anymore. So let me know what you think, if you've tried this, or like, I don't know, I just can't get behind it. But if you like it, or like you know someone that likes it, leave it down below. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to get maybe some conversation going about this, because I feel like I just heard such good things and I've been extremely disappointed. Moving on to some things that I'm not disappointed about. Actually, everything else I really enjoy. So let's jump into some face products. I have a concealer. It's the Stretch Concealer. I have it in the shade Light. and I really enjoy this. I'm wearing it today. I do have like a kind of a luminous CC cream on, and then I put this concealer on top of it, and I just really enjoy this. I think the color is great. It works good for my skin. It is, I mean, it's got more coverage than I thought it was gonna have originally. And so I've been pleasantly surprised with this. The color is great. It looks really good on the skin. It's definitely not like a mattifying concealer, but it's not like super luminous either. Just to give you a few ideas on concealers that I normally like, I really enjoy the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This one gives you a little bit more of like a matte finish. And then I also really enjoy the NYX Got You Covered Concealer, and this one is definitely very luminous, but both of these have a like really high coverage, and I feel like this almost falls in between these two as far as like finish goes, because it's definitely not matte, but it's not like super dewy like the NYX one is, but it looks like skin, which is kind of nice for like days when you don't necessarily want like super full coverage foundation, or maybe you just want to toss some concealer on and go to the gym. And so it's like, I really like it. Like, oh, my light's not on. Oh well. I've honestly been really enjoying this concealer. I think it looks really nice on the skin. Again, it's not going to cover like every single thing. I do feel like it does really good under the eyes, and it doesn't like, for me at least, it doesn't like settle into my fine lines. I don't have a ton of fine lines, but I do get some creasing under my eyes, and I feel like it doesn't crease any more or really any less than any other concealer. And so I've been really liking this. I like it so far. The other face product I have is the Wowder, and I have this in the light medium shade. And again, this is one that I've been really liking. I enjoy the packaging on this. It has like, this is the lid, and then this is the inside. It has like a little sifter, and I really enjoy that kind of packaging. It makes it really nice to use. I've used this a few ways. So I think actually one of my favorite uses for this is as a touch-up powder. So like whether I get home halfway throughout the day, or like I get home after work and I just want to like decrease some shine and maybe like touch up a little bit on like coverage, just a touch, just to make it look a little bit more pulled together. I really enjoy this. One of my favorite brushes to use it with is actually this one here. This is from Crown Cosmetics. I got this in, or Crown Brushes. I got this in my BoxyCharm in February. It was like a little brush set, and I love this brush for this powder. The brush just sits like so nice in that little pocket of powder, and then it's really nice to just like push in there and then like place it on the face and kind of like tap it into the skin. I feel like it just looks really nice. Another way I enjoy using this is after foundation. So like if I am wearing, I usually wear a powder foundation, but if I'm not wearing a powder foundation, I'm wearing a liquid foundation, and I just want to set things down, because I do have to set my foundation. My face is oily and it just turns into a mess if I don't set it. So if I'm wanting to set my foundation, I really enjoy this for that. So again, I'll usually take this brush and just kind of like pop it in the product, and then I try to set under my eyes pretty quick, or like make sure I get under my eyes pretty well, and then I'll just take this brush again and just kind of like tap it all over the places that I get like oily throughout the day, and I feel like it really helps. This isn't a mattifying powder by any means, but it does help me not look so oily, I guess. But it's definitely not mattifying. It just looks, again, it kind of just makes your skin look like skin, and I feel like that's Glossier's thing, is they're just into like natural, like this is you, but maybe just a little bit better, a little bit more fun, and like having some fun with products. So anyways, and then the last way that I have used this is with concealer. So I do this often where I'll just take concealer and apply it to the areas that I'm wanting to conceal, and then instead of going in with like a foundation, I'll just take powder and kind of like set it. And so I have used that this way. I have tried to use it as a powder foundation where I'll take like a more compact brush and kind of like buff it into the skin, and that looks nice as well. It does work okay. It definitely doesn't get a lot of coverage, but it does look okay, but it's definitely not my favorite use for that. Like if I'm wanting a powder foundation, I'll go in with my powder foundation. I just really enjoy this for setting the face, setting foundation into place, setting concealer, touching up. I think it does a great job at that. And I was a little nervous that this powder wasn't going to be light enough because I had heard reviews about that people were saying that it wasn't quite light enough for fair skin. And I do have pretty fair skin, and I've not had a problem at all. I think it's a great match for my skin tone. So if you're around my skin tone, I think even if you were a little bit lighter than me or darker than me, you would probably really enjoy this powder. I did have one eye product, and it's the Boy Brow. This is probably, I think this said this was like their top seller on their website, and I can totally see why. I mentioned this in my first impressions video, that like when I was using it, I was like, yep, I see why people freak out about this, because I had heard so much good reviews on this and like so much hype around this brow mascara, and I totally get why. Like, it's so good. And so this is the little brush. I have it in the shade Blonde, and it is a good shade match for my brows. It's pretty ashy. I wish it was maybe just a little bit more ashy because it pulls a little warm sometimes. I have it on today, but I really, really enjoy it. And you can kind of get, I always fill in my brows with a pencil anyways, and then I'll kind of brush it through. And it just does a really good job of like setting your brows into place, making them look kind of fluffy and like full, but natural too. And so I really, really enjoy this. I would say out of everything, if you're gonna buy one thing from Glossier, or like if you've been thinking about buying anything from Glossier, this would be probably my #1 pick. Yeah, #1 pick for sure. Then I also have 2 lip products. The first one is one of their Generation G lipsticks, and these are supposed to be like a matte or like a semi-matte sheer lipstick. I am wearing it today on top of a lip liner. I lined my lips with like a brownish pink color, but I did like kind of pull it into like the outer corners and just a touch on my lips besides just lining it. So that's where a lot of the color is coming from, because I do like this, but it's pretty sheer. So I'll do a little swatch. Like, that was one swatch. You can't really see it at all. Now when I wear it, I do build it up a little bit, so if you get like a few layers on it, it does look really nice, and it's super comfortable, which is really great, and it's so easy to apply that I think it's worth it. Like, I'll definitely use it. I have been using it a lot. I really enjoy the color. It's called, which I have it in the shade Cake, and it's, I think, one of their lightest colors. They have a lot of like berry tones and like reds, and I just don't wear those a lot. I wear lots of nudes and like browns. I thought this would be a really good shade for me. There was one darker color, I don't remember what it's called, but like I would consider maybe buying that one again if I was making another Glossier purchase. Because I do really enjoy the formula. While this isn't like super pigmented and it doesn't give me like a ton of color, because it is actually really close to my actual lip color, but it just looks really nice on the lips. It kind of gives you just like a flush of color and like a little bit of a sheen, nothing crazy. Like, it's definitely not shiny, but it just makes your lips look healthy. Something I was nervous with this product was a lot of the reviews were saying that the packaging was like falling apart. I read quite a few reviews of people saying that the lipstick itself was actually like falling out of the lipstick container if they were like traveling with it. Because of that, I have like kind of just kept this on my vanity, which I think kind of defeats the purpose of something like this, because I think a product like this is something that you would want to keep in your purse and just like apply it whenever you need it, because it is moisturizing and it feels kind of like a lip balm, but it adds like that nice kind of semi-matte color. I feel like this would be great to keep in your purse, but I've been a little nervous to do that. You'll have to let me know, have you guys had these fall apart on you? I'm kind of want to keep it in my purse, but I also don't want it to fall apart. So, but I like it. I do really enjoy this. And I think it looks great with a lip liner like how I'm wearing it today. And the last product I tried from Glossier was one of their Balm.coms, and I did pick it up in the birthday shade, which I just thought was super fun. Whenever I have looked at their Balm.coms before, I've looked at this one and the cherry shade. Those were the two that like really stuck out to me and then I thought would be really fun to try out. And so this one is clear, but it has just a touch of shimmer to it. So that's what it looks like straight out of the tube. It's definitely clear. There's no color to it. But it just has like a really pretty like iridescent sheen to it. The glitter is like super finely milled, so it's more of like a shimmer. And it just looks so nice on the lips. I wear it just like on plain lips, like without anything else. Or I really enjoy it actually over that cake lipstick. And then I really like it on top of lip liners or on top of other lipsticks. I really enjoy this. I think this was another thing, like if I were to narrow this down to like 2 things that I would have purchased from Glossier, it probably would have been the Boy Brow and the Balm.com. It smells really good. It's like a birthday scent, like it smells like a vanilla candle. Like that's specifically what it smells like. It doesn't smell like birthday cake or like frosting. It smells like a vanilla candle. I don't really know why. Maybe because it's like waxy or something, but it feels so nice on the lips. It actually lasts super long. It's not like a lip gloss. Like it's not shiny. I mean, it's a little shiny, but it's not like this like super shiny gloss. And so like your hair doesn't stick to it. It doesn't feel weird on your mouth. It's just like ultra comfortable and just looks really nice. So that was everything that I got from Glossier. Now, since I've made my order, there's a few things that I want to try. They actually just released those like eye paints. I forget what they're calling them, but they're kind of like a liquid eyeshadow and they look super pretty. The shade Halo maybe, that I've been like really interested in. And so down the line, I may need to make another Glossier purchase. If you have any Glossier products that you really like, I would love to hear about them. Make sure to leave those down below because I like trying new things. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to and you haven't already, subscribe down below. I would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys. Also, something I feel like I need to mention, the packaging on these are just so adorable. I love all the pink. If you can't tell, I like pink.